One of the first things I often talk about with new clients is the difference between life coaching and therapy. It's such an important distinction because while these two approaches can overlap, they actually serve a very different purposes. And understanding which one you need, or even when you might need both, can make a real difference in your personal growth and emotional healing. Let's start with coaching. Now, coaching is a conscious, forward-focused process. It's about getting clear on what matters most to you, your values, your beliefs, your direction, your goals, and then building a life that aligns with that. The work here is about clarity, confidence, and momentum. It's practical. We explore what you want, why you want it, what's getting in your way, and how you can move forward with purpose. It's a process that helps you develop a stable identity based on your values and beliefs. When you know who you are and what you stand for, you're far more able to make conscious choices. You can say no when something doesn't feel right. You're more likely to take ownership of your path and stand in your own authority. That's what coaching does. It helps you live with intention, take action, and build a life that feels meaningful to you. But coaching doesn't stop there. It also draws on some key psychological principles. One of those is something we call the self-reinforcing psychological loop. It's the idea that beliefs create thoughts, thoughts trigger emotions, emotions drive behavior, and behavior leads to outcomes. And those outcomes often reinforce the original belief. Let's say someone believes they're not good enough. That belief will shape their thoughts. They might constantly second guess themselves. Those thoughts then create perhaps anxiety or maybe shame. That emotional state leads to avoidant behavior. And the result? Well, missed opportunities or even self-sabotage, which then reinforces the original belief of I'm not good enough. And round it goes. Coaching works to interrupt that loop. We can come at it from the level of thoughts, emotions, or behavior and start shifting the dynamics of those relationships. We look at what's driving the response, unpack it, and then start consciously changing it. Sometimes that's enough, but sometimes it isn't. Because what happens when you've done the work, you've set the goals, clarified your values and beliefs, you know what matters to you, and yet you still feel stuck. What if every time you try to move forward, something inside you pulls you back? You procrastinate. You maybe self-sabotage. You feel overwhelmed by fear, shame, or even doubt. That's when we're not dealing with a lack of clarity anymore. We're dealing with something much deeper. Unconscious patterns rooted in your past, and that's where therapy comes in. My therapy program is called the Union Program. It's a deep intrapsychic process that works with two major parts of the unconscious: the adapted inner child and the protective inner critic. This is the emotional core of the work, where we explore the parts of your personality that were shaped in childhood, often in response to pain, neglect, misattunement, or trauma. The adapted inner child is the version of you that had to survive in difficult environments that didn't meet your emotional needs. Maybe you had to be the good kid, the quiet one, the overachiever, the carer even. Maybe you learned to hide how you really felt, to express your needs, or to be who others needed you to be. That inner child still lives in you. It holds beliefs like I'm not lovable, or my needs are too much, or I have to earn love by being really useful. And then we have the protective inner critic. This part is usually internalized from early authority figures, parents, critical teachers, or even society. It's the voice that shames you, keeps you small, and attacks you when you try to change. And often it's doing this in an attempt to protect you from rejection, from failure, from getting hurt. These two parts are in a kind of codependent relationship. The inner critic attacks and the inner child collapses. The child tries to adapt and the critic pushes harder. And all of this happens in the background outside of your conscious awareness until one day you realize you've been stuck in the same pattern for years. This is the unconscious emotional system that therapy targets. We don't just try to fix the behavior, we explore what is it protecting. We don't force a new belief, we understand where the old one came from and gently replace it with something more supportive. We help you reparent yourself to meet the needs that weren't met back then. It's deep work, it's healing work, and it's necessary if you want real, lasting change. So how do you know what you need? If you're clear on your goals, if you're ready to take action and need structure and direction, coaching is a great place to start. But if you're feeling chronically stuck, if you keep repeating patterns that hurt you, or if your emotional reactions feel overwhelming and disproportionate, that's the call for deeper therapeutic work. That's where my union program can help. The truth is, many people actually need both. Coaching helps you build the life you want. Therapy helps you heal what's blocking you from living it. Together they create a powerful, integrated path to wholeness. You don't have to choose between action and healing. You just need to know what's standing in your way and be willing to go beneath the surface when your strategies alone no longer work. That's where the real transformation begins. And if you would like help in knowing, is it coaching I need or is it therapy, get in touch. Visit my website and book a free discovery call and let's see what's possible.